Patrick Jordan. Jordan said he and collaborators Dave Mansueto and Pete Spinda initially expected a shorter run.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Alone Together Pittsburgh. I am your host, Patrick Jordan, streaming to you live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Welcome to the show. You may or may not have heard the news. We've been hinting at it for about, 6 months. We are currently at episode 198. That's right. On our way to episode 200. And with the way things are opening up and mandates being lifted and things being unlocked, we're thinking that maybe it's time to kind of bow out gracefully, if you can call it that. I don't know if it's graceful, but just to bow out of this streaming talk show game. As you may or may not know, we started this show right when the pandemic, a couple of days before the original shutdown happened in March of 2020. We have not missed a week since. We've done about 3 or 4 episodes a week that entire time. And that rounds us up to 198. Thank you, Jared. Jared, you've never been on the show. How is that possible? Fantastic photographer. Anyway, journalist, photojournalist, amazing. Anyway, so we're going to tap out. So we started the show to keep a sense of community going. And feel like now that things are opening up again, we can open that up. This will be our last full week of shows. We're going to do a full regular shows this week. We'll have a little farm to table segment tonight. Tomorrow we're going to have What Kate Ate with Kate Romaine. Friday we're going to have 5 Minutes with Natalie Bensavenga and Ask Natalie Advice. I think Dave Bracey's not going to be here for local brews because he is doing brews in other states right now. But he will be here, and you are all invited. We are going to have our last show from an undisclosed location 1 week from tomorrow, June 24th. We will be doing our show, but there's going to be a party going on while we're doing it. You could watch it there at the Roundabout Brewery's pop-up right there over on the North Shore, about a half a mile up from the Mr. Rogers statue there. So come on down. I'll be from 7 o'clock till 10 ish. And you know what? A couple of those drinks are going to be on us. So thank you for watching, and let's send it off in style. We'll be outdoors. There'll still be, enough distancing, but maybe it'd be nice to hug some people. I think we're ready. We haven't seen anybody in about a year and a half. So that's cool. That said, we've got a fantastic show for you tonight. It is great. So like I said, we're going to do a little shout out to Farm to Table. Josh Axelrod from the Post-Gazette is going to be here, and Merecedes Williams is going to be here. She's going to be talking about a fantastic event that's going to be happening this Saturday. Okay. It's going to be there's a Hidden Figures thing. There's a raising money for the Women and Girls Foundation. So it's going to be awesome. We're going to find out about that. But before we do that, couple pieces of housekeeping that we talk about here on the show every night. Ticking below us, that is our Venmo. It is @TogetherPGH. If you have the means to kick in a couple of bucks, we would greatly appreciate it. The money will go to the artists involved in the show on any given night the money comes in. And we are also on PayPal as well. We also will take carrier pigeon, however you want to send that money. That would be fantastic.
No pennies.
No pennies. No pennies. Dave, how you doing?
I'm all right, Pat. How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling there's like a weird vibe going on here, like a weird energy. It's also there's the
It's like the first day of school.
It's like the first day of school, but it's a different, it's like
different school. It's like the first day of school, but I'm really old.
Well, no, it's like the first day of school is usually on like a Wednesday or a Thursday, right?
It's like having a nightmare where it's your first day of school, you don't have your pants on, and you're old.
Which is so true on so many levels right now. And true for everybody else with this Zoom culture. Before we get to any other things, Dave so subtly gave us a little shout out to one of the sponsors on the show tonight, Engine House 25 Winery. If you go to eh25.com, you can find a fantastic selection of wines. And I'm not just saying that because they're a sponsor. This is pretty much the only wine that I drink. I love it. It is amazing. They've got Chardonnays, they've got reds, they've got whites, they've got blends, they've got everything you can imagine. There we go. There's the Cabernet, the Zin is killer. All of these things. The labels are done in-house. The grapes come from everywhere from Napa, Chile, and everywhere in between. These aren't like Mon Valley grapes. No disrespect. They make good jam there, but not so much for wine. But this is what you've got there. And if you tell them you found out about them from Alone Together Pittsburgh, which you only have a week and a half to cash in on this, folks, you will receive $5 off per bottle of wine. The Cab Franc, yes, Jared is correct. So that is a killer. Get in on it and enjoy. $5. I think they're still for another week. I think they are still doing free delivery in the 412 area code until everything is totally back to normal. They're riding the same wave we are. So get in on that. eh25.com. It's also home to the Roberto Clemente Museum. And Lola's Eatery is right there next door. So you can't go wrong right there in Doughboy Square. So thank you to them. Normally, they sponsor our in-show polls. But, we're not going to do the in-show poll tonight because even though we're on episode 198, week 66.
We took our exams. We did the homework. You know what I mean? Now you're lucky we're even here, that we're showing up. We're not tying our shoes anymore. And I'm not washing my hands.
Oh, now stop, Dave. Now I'm going to stop you there. The joking ends right there. You keep washing your hands, folks.
Fine.
Okay, you keep washing your hands, folks. That is one thing that hygiene needs to carry on.
But I'm not taking any more showers. I wash the hands.
Dave,
no showers.
Pre-pandemic, you didn't take many showers either. But if you wash your hands, the rest is on you. Okay. But you wash your hands. You touch things. You go places. Do that. So
deal.
Over the course of this show, we started off telling people about washing their hands. We had fantastic performers, entertainers singing 20-second songs while washing their hands. Fantastic people. We had Broadway veterans. We had musical singers. We had people, rock singers. We had everybody who was washing their hands. Then we parlayed that into mask wearing. And then we were trying to drive it home, everyone to wear a mask. We had Bruce Springsteen gave us a soundbite.
Mask.
What was that, Bruce?
Oh, the boss is also having a case of senioritis.
I want a fucking mask.
So
we had
Bruce Springsteen talking about wearing a mask. We had characters from the Batman movie telling
no one cared who I was till I put on the mask.
See what I'm saying? We had clips like that. Then we parlayed that into something that's still going on right now. Okay, and we want to encourage you and everyone out there to go get that vaccine, to go get the shot. It's the best way we have right now. It's the reason that we're opening up because enough people are vaccinated. So get on that. And John Travolta would agree with me.
Shot! I am if you let me. I never fucking stop when you start talking to me. Start talking to her. Yeah, right.
John Travolta wants you to get the shot. I think you should. You know who else does? Dame Judi Dench.
Take the shot. I say take the shot. Take the bloody shot.
Totally from Skyfall. But, another thing that we do here in the show is we talk about the COVID numbers in Allegheny County. They're lower now. The Allegheny County is only putting them out every 48 hours. And right now, I think the numbers for the last 48 hours, double check, 65. Okay. So that's good. We're in the 30s. We want to get these things down to the zeros. I would love it if we could figure out a way by Friday, if we can get that down to 0. Can you guys get on that? That'd be great. All right. So fantastic. All right. So that said, we're all caught up. Dave, are you back in town, Dave?
Yeah, I'm in Pittsburgh. I don't know what happened. There was a storm here. Everything's messed up.
I texted you because I was nervous that your place might have gotten flooded.
No, it's fine. It looks like it's flooded, but it's because of me, because I'm a messy man.
With water or just garbage?
Don't ask.
I just did. You know what? We don't need to. We don't need to go there right now. We're so close to the finish line. Why trip up? Why trip up at the 5? You know what I mean? All right. So that's it. There was a lot of hail in that storm, actually. I should have known. I should have said. I took a video. I'll send it to you. Maybe for tomorrow's show, we'll have that. There's a lot of hail, or laughing. You know what, Dave? Since you're so talkative tonight, I think we should start the show. What do you think?
Love it.
I think
rock.
it's good.
Great guests.
Great guests. I'm excited right now. All right. Our first guest coming on here right now is she's the owner and chief film critic at Movie Scene Queen. And she does a lot more than that. We're going to be talking about a lot of things. And here she is right now, without further ado, Merecedes Williams. There's a logo. Mercedes, what's going on?
Nothing much. Just here to promote some great things that's happening in Pittsburgh over the next couple of weeks. Glad to be here on the show. Well,
happy to have you. You sent me. I knew what was going on this weekend. I didn't know how much you had going on. It's amazing.
Yeah, I tried to. The pandemic has been a gift and a curse for me. I had COVID around Thanksgiving. I had another COVID scare after I got my vaccine a couple of months ago, and it's just been able to flourish in so many other areas, which have been great for me. But I always say the pandemic has been a gift and a curse. But I'm glad to be here.
Well, I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you got through it. I'm glad you got through the curse portions of the pandemic, and we can move on here. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the event that's happening this Saturday.
So June 24th. I believe that's next Thursday.
Thursday.
Positive? Yeah, June
Saturday.
24th.
I'm sorry.
No, June 24th. It's okay. We still want people to come out.
You should.
June 24th. We are coming together, and as a film critic, it would be only right that I host it. But the Women and Girls Foundation is presenting a drive-in fundraiser where we'll be screaming Hidden Figures. If you're familiar with the Carrie furnaces over in a historical landmark in Swissvale, we'll be at the Carrie Carpool Cinema. The tickets are starting at $25, and of course, that's each vehicle. So you just pack up your vehicle, come over there, and of course, the event benefits a wonderful program that even my daughter is a part of, Girl Gov internship program, basically just cultivating social justice and change among young ladies who typically feel like they don't have a voice. So it's very important. The movie is important. It's showing Black women in a different light. There's so many stigmas or I would say stigmas or stereotypes specifically around African-American women, which is why I try to tell different stories. So Hidden Figures is the perfect film, just showing women as scientists, mathematician in an awkward civil rights time at NASA, helping people get to the moon. So it's a really good movie. I won't spoil it. I hope you already seen it, but we're coming together for a good cause.
That's amazing. And the location's fantastic. The drive-ins. Oh, wow. That was my daughter who just came in hollering. I'm sorry. I didn't get to the mute button in time. So anyway, the Carrie Furnace, the drive-in there, it's actually amazing, right? The field there, Chris McGinnis was on the show talking about that when they were kicking off the new season. And it's just beautiful there. I mean, I'm partial to the neighborhood. My theater's like a couple blocks away. Yeah, it is a great time to go there to see any movie, and Hidden Figures is an incredible film. If you haven't seen it, this is the way to see it, and the money's going to a good cause. Yeah. So you can't beat that. So Mercedes, film critic. Okay, so you sent over a couple of pictures. I have a question for you. Okay, the In the Heights picture. Dave, you have this picture. It's an amazing picture. I'm just going to say right there, it's a fantastic picture. Did you see In the Heights?
I did see In the Heights.
What did you think of In the Heights?
So I didn't see In the Heights on Broadway. I also didn't see it. A couple people told me they came to, I guess, the Benedum Center a few years ago when it was in rotation. I also, look at there. I actually didn't see it. I didn't see it until I saw the movie. And I've actually, people kill me when I say this, I actually have not seen Hamilton at all either. So this was my first time being exposed to Lin-Manuel's work and just being able to see everything, just the music and the vibration. And right now, In the Heights is getting some slack for not having darker Latinx people or Afro-Latinas. Mm-hmm. And I guess I'm really not jumping on that train, only because people are created by their environment. Mm-hmm. So if the woman who wrote that play meant it for that musical meant it for something. And I spoke with her. I have a YouTube video talking to her about it. And then Lin-Manuel took that Broadway and then turned it into a musical. I think there's a lot of many other different parts in there to say that he was technically trying to keep a certain group of people out. But the musical is colorful. It's wonderful. It's a great cast. I spoke to the entire cast. The video is on YouTube, and I'm really excited just about how the world is able to see many different other people and cultures come together.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect answer for it. I'm kind of on that train myself. I saw the flack he was catching, so I was just really and Lin-Manuel handled it. You know what I mean? I think in a way, I'm listening. He's just rolling with it.
Yeah.
So
I want to take a step back.
Please.
If I take my money, my resources, my talent, my creativity, and I put a project together, somebody is bound to shit on it. Somebody's bound to say, I don't like something about it. Wait, hold up. You forgot me. So I'm not trying to, you know what I mean, say anything about the Afro-Latino community not being represented. I'm just saying that that's the risk you take in any type of project you have. So I always appreciate when somebody's willing to take that step forward or at least go on that ledge for the world to be able to see something that they create.
Yeah, I agree with you fully. So how did you start Movie Scene Queen?
So I always went to movie screenings. I've been going to movie screenings since I was a kid. My first movie screening was actually Kazam.
Oh, all right.
So that was my first advanced movie screening. And I actually just kept going all the way up until I was adult. In 2013, I saw pretty much a window of opportunity. There are not any African-American female film critics in the area. One of the most notable Black film critics in the area is Tony Norman, and he has and wears so many other hats that oftentimes it's hard for him to write a review. And he normally focuses on one area. So I've been just trying to fill that niche. I'm quirky, funny, spontaneous, rambunctious. So I'm hoping that people get that when they read my reviews. I also like when people say, you're out of your mind. What did you see in that movie? And I see something I hated or I love. So it's also a conversation piece. But Movie Scene Queen was a rose that grew out of the concrete, just for the simple fact that when I started it, I was overcoming homelessness. I was overcoming a car accident where I was rendered unconscious. I had just dropped out of school. My house had caught fire. So it was pretty much like Mercedes, pull up your bootstraps. What you gonna do? And Movie Scene Queen came about.
Well, that's a silver lining right there. I mean, like a thin lining with what you were going through to pull that out. So the rose out of the concrete is perfect. Got a quick question. Okay. What is a movie that you liked or loved that people thought you were crazy for liking or loving?
What's the name of Denzel Washington's son and Zendaya just had a movie, Malcolm and Marie, I believe it was called.
Okay.
Everybody hated it. And it was just one big long scene. And I actually felt the love and the passion and I refrained from publishing my review, but even the small words that I said about it on Rotten Tomatoes, people were just all like, yeah, okay, whatever. But I actually kind of liked it. I like weird stuff. If anybody liked The Lighthouse, they can like Malcolm and Marie. That's just my take on it.
Okay, so I think that you're a breath of fresh air in film criticism because your takes are real. Okay, Flip side of that coin. What's a movie that you did not like that everybody got behind?
I wasn't too. I would have to Google it, but Paul Walker's last movie. I got to think of the name. It'll come to me. And I'm not talking about Fast and the Furious. I'm talking about his like last film. And I was like, I'm good. I think people just gravitated towards it because he had an untimely death. You know what I mean?
And that was his last movie. But a lot of times actors' last movies, especially when they don't know that they're going to pass, you know what I mean? And something happens. It's not usually the best. Thing.
Right. So I was like, I'm trying to Google it now before we run out of time. But literally everybody loved it. And I actually cringed on certain parts. I felt like his death was completely tragic. I thought that Fast and the Furious did a nice little debut for him. You know what I mean?
Little send off when he drove off into the sunset.
Yeah, right. Little sunset.
I thought it was going to be weird. I mean, it was weird, but I thought it was going to be odd that they CGI'd him to ride off into the sunset, but it ended up being nice.
Yeah, it was nice. I'm trying to think of the last movie, but it was pretty scary. And I wrote a review about it. I think it was called Brick Mansions. Yes, Brick Mansions was his last film. And I wrote a review on it saying, rest in peace, Paul Walker. But y'all could have did better than this. Especially in post-production. I was just all like, if Fast and the Furious got it together, so should you guys.
Wow, I feel that. All right, so you've got some other, before we run out of time, we've got some other events coming up that you might want to talk about that you sent over to us.
Yeah, so I am media manager, one of two spokespersons for Pittsburgh Public Schools. And I think that public education is important. I am a proud Pittsburgh Shinley graduate, a current parent of 3 PPS kids. And see, Patrick, what you got to do is you got to leave the kids. I left my kids at home and came to a secure location because if I was at home, my 4-year-old would be all in this screen. She'd be throwing up gang signs. She'd be knocking light over. She would be yelling obscenities. I had to go to a separate location in order to do this interview.
Oh, you played it. But I do that's 3 nights a week, you see. And we started during the pandemic, so we kind of got into the groove of doing this. And usually she only kind of comes through once or twice. My wife kind of corrals her, but her bedroom is right there, so it's kind of like she has to get changed. And you think we plan to have this stuff in the other room, but on occasion she shows up on the show and interviews people. Like she'll. I
know she has. I haven't seen her, and I already know she's adorable. Just the way she screamed in the background, so I know she has to be the cutest thing ever. But no, I have 3 kids. They're 3 PPS kids. They're at home right now with my husband. And just shout out to my husband for holding me down with going back to school and doing 20 million things. And I'm working a drag show right now over on the north side. So I'm going back to that. I won't be home till midnight. So I know the kids are driving him crazy, but I know my crazy schedule is driving him crazy as well. Anywho, 3 kids in PPS graduate, PPS employee. I'm an advocate for public education. I feel like it's reciprocated. If the community and the parents and board members and key stakeholders and funders are involved, so are also the teachers and the faculty members and the staff and the superintendent and administrators, all of that. So I feel like it's a community effort. As a result, 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago, I started a back to school event. And basically it started off with literally just me and former Steelers Lamar Woodley, putting our resources and money together to serve children. We had drawstring backpacks, a whole bunch of like random knickknacks in the bag. And it goes along with making sure that families have a healthy start to the school year. So now it's grown into this beautiful event where we change the name to it to hashtag Pittsburgh for PPS, because basically all of your Pittsburgh household names, the Steelers, the Pirates, the Penguins, 412 Food Rescue, United Way, PT Services Group, Comcast, Whammo, they're all coming together for this back to school event. It's drive up. Basically, you come up and you get everything you need for the first day of school. We're even thinking about getting 4 buses to put the stuff on the buses and go to the 4 quadrants of the city that families that are not able to come will go to the most popular bus stops and you pull up and get what you need. But the idea is that there's so much stuff going on. We don't also want a family worrying about the essentials like masks, hand sanitizer, shoes, and stuffed book bags. So.
Yeah, Mercedes, this is awesome, man. I mean, I can't believe we're talking about a back to school event right now, but no, you got to get ahead of it.
I have to start planning it now. First of all, shout out to PNC because Renee and Pat Boston at PNC, I know I get on their nerves, but they say, how can we serve? And I appreciate that. But I have to start thinking about it now. As a parent, you kind of have to plan, especially if you're a parent of 3 kids in school, kindergarten, what's my son? Kindergarten, 8th grade, 10th grade. The shoes and the clothes and the book bags, you got to start now or else you'll be up Schitt's Creek come August. So we're working on it. We're getting it together. And I'm so appreciative of everything that's happening in my life.
Mercedes, thank you for fighting and doing everything that you do. It's amazing. Everybody check out the movie Screen Queen. And support this right there. Use the hashtag Pittsburgh for PPS right now. The number's on the screen and it's in our links on the show as well. Mercedes, thank you so much. Good luck with all the events. And I almost said, hey, come back and talk to us whenever you can. But I think we're wrapping up in about 72 hours.
Come to the party.
Come to the party.
Come to the party.
Come to the party. I have to after the movie screening.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mercedes. And well, hopefully we'll see you soon.
All right. See you. Bye-bye.
Mercedes. Maybe I should go to a different location. Maybe I should have done that. Maybe around episode 100. Maybe I should have just gone to like a bunker. Maybe my wood paneled walls couldn't do it.
Go
Anyway,
in the attic. You have an attic in that house?
I don't have an attic. It's a flat roof.
Oh no, you got a basement under the basement that you're in.
I am not actually in a basement, Dave.
How about a crawl space? You got a spooky crawl space to
I
get
have
into?
I have a spooky crawl space.
There you go. Get weird in the crawl space.
Look, and honestly, 200 episodes. Like the first 70, the camera was turned that direction because I was twisted on the couch, and then the snack tray came in. You know what I mean? My command center. There it is, right there, folks.
Look at that. There it is. That's the ugly truth. What is that? You put your peanut M&Ms there in that little holder.
Yeah, I put that holder out there for you as a joke. I never thought that the picture
That's
would
where
still
you
be
put your
coming
peanut
out.
M&Ms. Everybody knows it, Patrick. You
It's
got
not
that peanut
peanut
M&M thing going on.
Anyway,
don't give that man any peanut M&Ms. He's got enough. He's got bags of them.
Okay, look, we've got Josh Axelrod in the wings. Before we bring him out, I want to give a quick shout out to Farm to Table of Western Pennsylvania, farmtotablepa.com. Buy fresh, buy local. If you go to that website, you can find everything else. The food guide is out. You can go pick it up. I know they're at the co-op, but you can find out other locations where the food guide is. It is your one-stop shop. You go to farmtotablepa.com. You can find that out. You can find out where you can I think the CSAs for the season are probably long gone. But you can also find out they have different lectures. They have different things online where you can call, you can sign up and ask questions. Like we had Doug Oster on the show a few times, one of our favorite guests. He's a guru. He's one of the people that speak for them. There's also, where the farmers markets are. You can also find out where the farms are around you. Just go to farmtotable@pa.com. They've been a wonderful sponsor to the show. Every Wednesday night, we do a, buy fresh, buy local segment. This is the last one. And it's funny that it's just me doing it, but that'll be great. Hopefully Erin Hart will be joining us a week from tomorrow at our episode 201 send-off party. So thank you to Farm to Table. It's just a fantastic organization that does so many great things for so many people. Okay, so moving right along. I think it's time to bring out our next guest, this is his second time on the show. He has come a long way since the first time on the show. The pandemic, he has been climbing the ladder, and now he is the features writer at the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Here he is, Josh Axelrod.
Hey, Patrick. Thanks for having me on again.
Oh, thank you for being here. I just
want to say for the record, I am a features writer at the Pittsburgh Post.
Okay, you are A. You're the to me.
Oh,
the only one we love.
You're the only one we love. You're the only one that's been on the show.
My heart just grew 5 sizes.
You're like the Grinch, buddy. But at the end, you're going to have
the best possible way.
The best possible way. You're going to carve that roast beast. I don't know. I watched that. My daughter still makes me read that to her like it's August. She loves the Grinch. Anyway, so enough about my daughter. The last time you were here, you were doing sports.
Yes.
And you have parlayed into a much wider field.
As with the rest of the world, it's been a wild year for me professionally, especially. Started the year in sports, moved over to the copy desk for a minute, and now I'm a features writer, and I cover movies and TV and local media and all the stuff I really wanted to cover all along. So
it's in your blood, man.
Yeah, it truly is. If most people don't know, my mother is Sharon Epperson, an ex-Post-Gazette theater critic. So yeah, pop culture is in my blood.
Who literally propped the theater community on her back for years.
And that's what I'm trying to do with the filmmaking community right now. Just, it's a heavy load, but someone's got to bear it.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the film community in Pittsburgh right now.
Sure. It's kind of thriving at the moment. There's work. There is lots and lots of work. There was no work for a couple months because
a little more than a couple.
So, yeah. For I don't know, from March to October, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
When it was just straight up unsafe to do it because of the pandemic. And slowly but surely, well, even in the meantime, there was some commercials, some voiceover work here and there.
Yeah.
But slowly but surely, the big guns started to come back, and the big guns really took the form of Netflix, because Netflix came in that fall winter zone with 2 shows, Archive 81, which is an adaptation of a horror and anthology podcast, which looks wild just based on the description. And then they came in with The Chair, which is what Sandra Oh is doing in town. And they were filming like near Chatham University and just all over the city. Yeah, I think, and Netflix released that one's coming out August 20th. Netflix put out a bunch of photos of it, and they moved the date up. They moved the date up to the same day as Sweet Girl is coming out, which is the Jason Momoa movie that filmed here, which is also the same day that a Michael Keaton movie called The Protege comes out, because Netflix just wants to kill all Pittsburgh area pop culture journalists
all at once.
So that's my life at the moment.
It's gonna be like a reverse junket. It's just gonna be everybody coming to you.
I mean, that's kind of what they've been doing. Why change now? That I will say, in terms of doing journalism, the fact that everyone now realized that it's just way more economical to send screeners directly to journalists, and that people can now do Zoom interviews, and you don't necessarily have, it doesn't matter where they are. You don't necessarily have to walk a red carpet to get interviews anymore. It's I mean, I definitely want to go back to the way things were, no question, because it's more fun to do all that stuff in person. But just in terms of ease of use.
Do you think this is gonna stay? I mean, there's certain things that are like the new normal that are gonna carry from this thing. I mean, we like when the pandemic started, we were like, are we ever gonna shake hands again? Well, obviously that's gonna happen again. But especially Dave, you gotta wash your hands. But please. I turned like he's in the room with me. I'm like, Dave, you gotta wash your hands. Like, so, but okay. So like meetings, board meetings, things of that nature. I don't know if you have to be together for those. You can get everybody in there. There's really less excuses. But from what you're talking about, that makes a whole lot of sense. You have a fixed amount of time, and you don't have to leave. You don't have to fly to, like, maybe you wanted to fly to Cannes or something, but
one day.
Yeah. But do you think this is going to stick like this?
Well, I mean, it's interesting because a couple weeks ago, and things have even changed in the last couple of weeks, but I was talking to Dan Futterman, the showrunner of American Rust, which is the Jeff Daniels show that's been here and is probably going to be here until about August. Yeah. By the way, that also just got a release date today.
I saw the trailer.
Yeah, no, it looks so Yinzer-y. I love it.
It's Yinzer-ish.
Yinzer adjacent, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I did a day on that, and it was the second day of filming, and the COVID protocols that were in place were pretty intense.
Well, yeah, I was just about to say what Dan Futterman was talking about. He was talking about how weird it was that the world's sort of opening back up and restrictions are being lifted, but the sets are just airtight, and ridiculous amounts of money are being spent on testing and on making sure all the protocols are followed. Masks have to be worn basically at all times when you're not on camera.
They had a guy in a yellow reflector jacket with a 6-foot piece of PVC pipe with tennis balls on the end of it, keeping the director apart from people.
Yeah, someone was telling me that like cameramen who aren't vaccinated weren't allowed to be within 6 feet of people today, or something along those lines. And I'm pretty sure those restrictions might be loosened by SAG in the near future.
Probably not the vaccinated ones. I mean, I think
probably not that. That's the thing. I also if you're in the creative community and you're not vaccinated, I'm just telling you, it sounds like they're going to start prioritizing the vaccinated over the not vaccinated in terms of filling jobs. Just FYI.
Yeah. Hey, what would Mr. T say about that, Dave?
Oh my God, Mr. T, are you kidding me?
Go with Rocky.
I got to get it on my fingers. You're pretending like we're making me look bad in front of Josh Axelrod here.
What would Mr. T say about that, Dave?
You got your shot. Now give me mine.
Well played.
Thank you very much. It would have been
do another one, so we can do like we really do it when we're in in the hot seat. Here we go.
Okay, I like a different one, Dave, or just that one again?
You just pretend like we're doing it right now. Pretend like all this
so it's funny. You know what people should do? They should probably try to fight for their shot. What would Mr. T say about that, Dave?
Take the shot.
Close enough.
All right. My God, this is just. Now my heart is shrinking 3 sizes right now. Back.
Inject.
This is the equivalent of Dave taking his ball and going home because he wasn't there for that one. He wants to just bag the whole thing.
That escalated really quickly.
It's a fantastic journey mixed with whatever that Jared, whatever his name is, with the band, 25 Seconds to Mars, whatever.
So anyway, yeah, the COVID protocols are pretty intense, and it adds a lot to the budgets.
Yeah. It's But people seem to be willing. Again, the jobs are there now. Plenty of roles that need to be filled by local talent. I mean, A League of Their Own is now in town for Amazon. That's starting to gear up. Billy Porter's movie, What If, I believe is in pre-production and is supposed to start next month. I know that other stuff is sniffing around. Don Keyser would kill me if I said anything. But yeah, stuff is other movies and TV shows are sniffing around. So it'll make her happy if I say this. It all depends on the film tax credit and how much money can be allocated for certain productions. But yeah, no, there's
they uncap it.
There's legislation right now to try to at least increase it. So that's the best we can hope for at the moment. But I'm just saying, like, there's going to be work coming in the next 6 months. Like, and if people want to get that professional experience, it's going to be here.
And they should probably
take the shot. Take the shot! Come on, I was on point for that one.
You're back.
I read your mind. I got a question for Josh.
What's up?
So, do you think that Rust is going to do for Pittsburgh's accent what Mayor of Easttown did for Philly's?
Well, I was just informed today that we actually did have a very similar show from Mayor of Easttown that aired on CBS a couple years ago called $1, actually from the same director as Mayor of Easttown, Craig Zobel. So
he directed that.
Yeah, apparently. And so my original take was, American Rust had a good chance to be Pittsburgh's Mayor of Easttown. But it turned out that Mayor of Easttown was actually Philly's $1, which I have to credit Rob Owen from the Trib for reminding me of that. But no, I think in terms of prestige now, I think American Rust has a real chance of reaching the levels of zeitgeist that Mayor of Easttown reached. Because Mayor of Easttown broke HBO Max like on its finale day. Like, it took an extra 15 minutes to start streaming, which I haven't seen from an HBO show since like the last season of Game of Thrones. So, I mean, I don't know if anything on Showtime has a chance to quite be at that level, but I mean, it's got this same general setup. It's got the crime element. It's got a big star in the middle of it. It's
Jeff Daniels.
It's got those accents. My God, if there aren't Yinzer accents in American Rust, what are we even doing here? But
instead of Wawa hoagies, do they have Primanti Brothers sandwiches
and sheets all the way?
There we go.
Yeah, no,
I mean, south of Pittsburgh.
I think, and plus, yeah, it's small town PA, and it's from what I can tell, it's an amalgamation of like a bunch of our boroughs outside the city. It's not like they've been filming everywhere, from what I can tell.
They shot in Braddock.
They shot right across the street from my apartment.
They shot right across the street from my theater. I worked one day on this TV show. It was supposed to be two, but they regrouped, and I hadn't left. I was either in Braddock at my theater, it's like sitting there just staring at walls, or at my house for about a year. Hadn't left the general neighborhoods, right? Just back and forth. And then I work a day on this. I'm like, ooh, I get to, where are they going to West Virginia? Where are we going to shoot? Literally, base camp was across the street from my theater. So I've literally only saw, like, it was like my one shot at Freedom. I like drove to like, Clairton Coke Works just to get a change of scenery.
Yeah, no, one morning I walked out of my apartment to walk my dog, and I walked onto the American Rust set by mistake. It was just kind of there. I know they really don't want journalists on their set right now, but I couldn't help it. It was just,
it's in your neighborhood. You got
my dog. She needed to do her thing.
You got to jump on it.
I got an exclusive little clip from a behind the scenes of Patrick's work in Rust. Here we go. Coming at you.
Now, how many of you are there?
Oh, there's dozens. I'd rather not say exactly.
Men who haven't seen daylight in 3 months.
Police officers who haven't seen daylight in 3 months.
Dial it back, officer. The situation is unprecedented. Let's move away from this location and then call it in.
Right, let's go.
We'll take it from here. You stay and look after these folks.
Man, American Rust is violent.
Yeah, and I'm about to be violent with Dave Mansueto if he keeps pulling that clip out. Come on, Dave. I'm talking. I got Josh Axelrod here. We're talking shop.
I'm not mad at it.
There we go.
That's fine. Right.
No, American Rust looks super dope, and yeah, I'd love if it did. I'd love if there were all the think pieces that sprung up around Mayor of Easttown for Philly that spring up around American Rust for Pittsburgh. I'm here for whatever reminds people that this is a city worth filming in.
And the cast itself and who they're using in American Rust, a lot of people, a lot of the actors, even in the smaller parts from all over, have thick theater backgrounds, which I'm here for.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. No, there's such a wide variety of stuff. Like, I mean, actors who have baseball backgrounds now have a chance of being on a league of their own. Which I will say, I'm a huge fan of The Good Place, so I'm going to be on Darcy Carden watch all summer. I'm
You'll see her. She'll be around.
Exactly. I'm still a little fuzzy on what extra opportunities will be available on What If, Billy Porter's movie. But no, I trust that man with my life. So if he's into this, he's going to do right by it, and there will be opportunities for people to work on a movie. It's awesome. We're back. Pittsburgh is back.
Have you ever worked on a movie?
No.
Okay, I'm just curious. I just ask people. I feel like everybody should be at not at this point now because you're a journalist.
I'm a little removed. Yeah,
you're removed, but I think that everybody should be an extra on a movie, if only for an hour.
I tried out for The Dark Knight Rises. I went down to the.
You lined up around the.
I lined up. I went down. I had my picture taken and was never called back. But I tried.
They didn't ask you to come to the stadium.
No, I had to watch it like a normie, like everyone else.
Yeah, that was wild. That was like a weird, because movies were shot here, but like giant movies weren't shot here, and that was like a monster of a $1 billion movie from that thing. That was crazy time. I don't think that anybody's lined up around the hotels for it to be an extra since, but who knows? So, Josh,
Patrick,
you had an article in the Post Gazette like today. It came out recently, right? With about Julie Grant.
I'm familiar with her. I'm familiar with her work. Yes.
Okay, so I think it's a wonderful piece about a wonderful woman. Full disclosure, John, she's my cousin.
You know, when you told me that earlier today, I thought about it for 2 seconds and was like, yeah, Patrick and Julie have the same energy.
Okay.
It makes so much sense.
Julie is amazing. She is a force of nature. As you saw, everybody check out this article on my cousin. She is now at Court TV. She was gonna pop on tonight, but she's working. She's waiting for a verdict to pop out right now live. She's incredible. And I love that you captured a lot of it, but she is all heart, and this is the perfect kind of thing that I love that you're doing these kinds of pieces as well. Not just movie stuff, but a perfect person to highlight. She worked her ass off and never took no for an answer, and was a lawyer and just did it every other way. And there's a picture that you put in the article that I'm allowed to show it now because you put it in the article.デscroll down a little bit.
Julie sent me this picture without even being asked. So
okay. Boom! When she was one of the dancers with the penguins.
I mean, she was so much cooler than I even realized she was, and I already thought she was super cool. I knew that she was an assistant DA for a long time. I knew that she went from KDKA to Court TV, but nobody told me about the penguin spirits.
Oh, there's a lot of other moves in there. You could do a movie about, you could do a novel about all the different like places that she went. But she was one of the penguin spirits. That picture was on my refrigerator for about half a decade, and it was hanging up at my grandmother's house. Amazing, yeah. So I'm just thrilled that you showcased her because she deserves it.
I've gotten such a kick out of covering local media around here too. So my beat is basically, as I like to put it, anything that's on a screen. So basically movies, TV, local media. Sometimes I dabble in like podcasts and video games as well. But like, I love the connection that this city feels to its on-air talent. It's palpable. My articles on them always do really well. And Julie and I happen to be connected on Twitter, and it occurred to me, oh yes, it's been like 2.5 years. And usually when our on-air talent leaves, they're either retiring or they're going to another station. Usually they're not going to Court TV.
She went national.
And yeah, I figured people might want to hear from her again. And again, she was even cooler than I thought she was going to be. And B, that article did gangbusters all day today. So
that's amazing.
People care. And yeah, Julie, like if you're listening from wherever you are, like you're the best, and let's do this again in another year.
Her family's very proud of her.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
just
and
say that right
again,
now.
she sent me that Penguins photo unsolicited, and I was like, I would have never thought to even ask about that. So
boom, there it is. Fantastic, awesome. Yeah, so thank you for doing that. So I just had to get that out of the way. That I was just very excited when the article came up today. So so what else is going on? What's going on in the future here? What's cooking?
Let's see. Well, if you check out the site over the next 48 hours, you're going to see a bunch of Luca content. If you like Pixar movies, co-written by Jesse Andrews, a Point Breeze native. Talk to him; he's a wonderful guy, and I believe my interview with him is dropping tomorrow, and then my review of Luca is dropping Friday. Yesterday I went to a real life movie theater to see my first critic screening, and so I've now seen Roadrunner, the Anthony Bourdain documentary.
I was just segueing into this. Okay, tell me everything.
Man, it's good. So first and foremost, it's directed by Morgan Neville, who made Won't You Be My Neighbor, and I don't care where he's from. If you make a Mr. Rogers documentary, you're an honorary Pittsburgher. So that was a great start. The dude knows how to make a documentary. It really seems like Bourdain basically filmed every second of his life once he got famous, because otherwise I don't know how any of that footage existed.
I mean, he went to so many places, and they shot so much when he was at them. Is it just since the TV series started, or is there earlier stuff?
No. It's from the second his book came out, basically through the end of his life. It's a harrowing portrait of a man who basically became famous by accident, didn't necessarily want it, but embraced it, and then things kind of came crashing down in the most unfortunate way possible. But man, there's some good stuff. Like there's footage of him in Beirut, watching a war happen while he's sitting poolside and reflecting on that.
I'll say this. I got to spend a little piece of time with him when he was in town shooting his most recent series. He shot a section at Superior Motors before the restaurant opened. So
right straight from Bare Bones.
Yeah, right. So right in the thing. And Superior Motors did not have electricity at the time, or running water, or walls. So I was snaking extension cords from my theater space to power the toaster oven that Kevin was cooking food for Anthony Bourdain in, and running the mini fridge that was from the Fetterman's house. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Literally, that's how it was running. And his whole crew adored him. Everyone called him Tony. Just adored him. And he was exactly the same with everybody as he was interviewing. When he wasn't interviewing, when we were in the parking lot, whatever, he wore a Bare Bones shirt. Totally cool guy. It hit everybody hard, but he was one of those guys that he walked it like he talked it. I spent a fraction of time with him, and I can just say the guy was the real deal.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say that my plan is the movie comes out July 16th, and I'll be writing a review of it, but I'm also trying to talk to Morgan Neville and talk to some of the local restaurants around here that he visited. He visited
a lot.
He did.
He hit up a lot of good people and got them to talk, man. Everybody feels like they know him. You know what I mean? He's the foodie rock star. I mean,
he wore his heart on his sleeve. He didn't leave much to the imagination. It was pretty. Obviously there was a lot under the surface he didn't reveal until later in life, but otherwise, no, he just. Am I gonna cry?
Of course, am I gonna cry at this thing?
Imagine going to an Anthony Bourdain documentary and not crying. Shit. What's your? You have to have a heart of stone.
Yeah.
So bring some tissues. Did you cry at Won't You Be My Neighbor?
Well, it's freaking Mr. Rogers. You know what I mean?
Freaking Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Anthony Bourdain would be very surprised at your comparison, and so would Fred Rogers. But
they're both beloved public figures who, long after their death, will still make you cry.
Gosh, I said gosh darn it because you brought up Mr. Rogers. Anthony Bourdain would make fun of me. But he thought I looked like that guy from the what's that that barbecue place in Texas? Do you know what I'm talking about? The other semi-popular chef from Texas. He's the barbecue guy. I'll find a picture.
I believe you.
Yeah. Anyway, he came up to me. He was like, call me the guy's name, and I didn't know he was talking about.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "You look like this guy." And then nothing. He pulled out his phone and just showed me a picture. And I'm like, I guess he has the same glasses as me. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, I hid Bare Bones T-shirts all over the set when they shot the interview. It was Franco Harris, John Fetterman, Kevin Sousa, and Giselle Fetterman, and Anthony Bourdain. And they were like, we need some stuff to put in the background. So I just strung Bare Bones T-shirts everywhere. So like over everybody's shoulder, you can like kind of glance, get some
nice product placement.
That's all I can do. Yeah. But, and that's how I'm segueing from crying about Anthony Bourdain to making myself look like a clown. But anyway, yeah. So you got to see that in the theater.
I'm back in movie theaters, man. It's great. Well, I mean, so that was only like a screening for a couple people. It was like at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. That wasn't a real experience, but I've now been in 3 movies now since April. I broke the seal with Mortal Kombat in April.
Well done.
I was like, whatever. I could watch this on HBO Max, or I could go to a theater where there's a little kid behind me yelling out the name of every character as they appear on screen, which was actually very helpful because I wasn't super familiar with Mortal Kombat lore. But no, it was at the time.
Is it better or worse than the first one?
Worse by a hair.
Worse is better.
Better by a hair, probably.
Okay.
No, but like again, this was in April, but everyone was masked. People
Even
were
the characters in the movie.
Excellent.
Well done. No, that was fun. A couple weeks ago, I went to see Cruella.
What'd you think of Cruella?
I thought it was fun. I think it's pretty easily the best Disney live action so far. I don't really think there's much competition. Like, it's the only Disney live action movie that's actually tried to be a real movie, I'd argue, and I respect it just on that level.
Now I'm thinking of all the other Disney live action. Mulan
was terrible.
Didn't see it. Okay.
It was not good.
What else? What were the other 2 or 3 that they came out with?
2 or 3. There have been like a lot at this point. I mean, there was Jungle Book, Lion King, Aladdin.
Oh, I guess those count as
Beauty and
live
the
action.
Beast.
Lion King. Oh gosh,
Yeah.
Lion King. I mean, the Beauty and the Beast was the stuff that nightmares are made of.
Cruella. If I think basically they decided that 101 Dalmatians canon didn't count, and if you don't connect it to anything else.
I know this isn't your thing and you don't work for Disney, Pixar, or anything, but have they ever done a live? Is this their first that wasn't just a remake of a cartoon?
No, they did the Maleficent movies. And
that was them. Yeah.
Those were technically just Beauty and the Beast. Just Sleeping Beauty spin-offs, I guess. So.
But spin-offs, not
Yes.
like the actual thing.
Yes, Cruella was much better than the Maleficent movies.
I can imagine.
So that was good. And I actually saw A Quiet Place Part 2 in theaters too, which I was not planning on because I usually don't like horror movies. But lo and behold, the Millicent Simmons, who Reagan, I think is her character's name. Yeah, the like teenage deaf girl who's Emily Blunt and John Krasinski's daughter. She lives in Pittsburgh now.
Boom.
So I found that out, and I was like, oh, I have to go watch a horror movie in a movie theater.
But
and I survived.
That seemed that Pittsburgh. Well, thank you for writing an article about that as well.
Thank
you. That movie seemed like it was the movie that everyone kind of went to the movies to see. Like I noticed, like that broke the seal for everybody.
Yeah, it was the first time that you saw like Variety writing articles that are like movie theaters are back, because it actually made a decent chunk of change at the box office. I mean, Godzilla versus King Kong was probably the first one that was like, okay, we might be heading back in the right direction. But A Quiet Place Part 2 came out, I think, right as a lot of restrictions started to be lifted and movie theaters were allowed to reopen. And it's easily, I think, the biggest opening weekend since the pandemic started so far.
That's amazing.
And I mean, box office discourse has gotten weird within the Heights kind of flopping, which is unfortunate. And I heard Mercedes' take on it. I totally agree with pretty much everything she said. But anyway, yeah.
We should have had you and Mercedes just go at it. And I should have just sat back and like had some Cheetos or something.
We would have had a lot of fun. I need to read Movie Scoop Queen more often.
Yeah, definitely.
No, she seemed really cool. But yeah, no, people are movie theaters are back. There's multiple movie theaters have opened in the Pittsburgh area during the pandemic. Like GQT came out with the Pittsburgh Mills Theater where the old Cinemark used to be.
Right.
The Regal and Butler closed. The Movie Scoop is going to open something there later this summer. Like people still think movie theaters are a viable business, pandemic or no pandemic.
I mean, they're betting on the come. You know what I mean? I'm telling you right now, seeing a movie, there's nothing like going to a movie. Like, period.
Yeah, I mean, well, I will say my calculation with Cruella was if I'm going to pay $30 on Disney Premiere Plus, I'd much rather just do it at a movie theater with like a box of like M&Ms next to me.
That's basically that would cover it. You would get your ticket and M&Ms. That would be about it, and you'd have to bring your own water from home.
I always the trick is you just ask for a water cup. That's
just ask for a water cup. All right, that's it. I mean, because I remember I had friends that used to, when it wasn't that expensive, they would like stash food everywhere. But anyway,
that's a lot.
So yeah, I can't take it. Okay, so here's the thing. I haven't seen The Irishman. Okay, but this is what I talked to at the movies versus at home. The people that saw The Irishman on the big screen. Did you see it at the big screen?
No, sorry. I thought you were going to say in general. I watched it on Netflix.
No. The people who saw it on the screen like really liked it and thought it was a viable, like an amazing movie. And then the people who saw it on Netflix were like, it was really long. They were old. They were young. It was weird.
I think there's a weird psychological effect where we give more credence to movies in movie theaters, mostly because we have to pay attention to them. Unless you're a jerk who's on your phone, like you literally just don't have a choice but to watch a movie. Whereas on Netflix, you can do 1,000 other things at the same time. I mean, my take on The Irishman is that I appreciated the very high levels of filmmaking, but also think it would have been better as a 7-part miniseries.
That's what I heard too.
Personally.
Netflix 7. That would make sense too. I can't remember the
3.5 hour movies, man. Like why? Unless you're Avengers Endgame, there's no reason for
Snyder Cut is calling your name right now.
The Snyder Cut is bad.
No, did you like it better or worse than the original?
I liked it better, but it was just polishing a turd. Like it wasn't exactly high cinema either time.
Mansueto, did you finish it?
Excuse me. No offense to Joe Manganiello.
Oh, well, he got in that one. He had an extra 20, 30 seconds of screen time.
We love our Pittsburgh boys every time. Doesn't matter what they do.
The Snyder Cut did it. It was an enormous waste of time and money, but I'm glad it made people happy.
I was just couldn't stop laughing for that 15-minute long Superman death groan that he was doing at the beginning.
Oh, that was rough. I forgot that. So here's what happened when I was watching that. And Dave, I think I told you this. So it was on the television or streaming, or I don't know what it was, the Snyder Cut. So I started watching it. And for whatever reason, it wasn't good, right? But I couldn't stop watching it. I watched it till like 3:30 in the morning. Like I watched like I started it at like, 8 o'clock at night and watched it straight through till 5 o'clock the next day. It was the longest movie I've ever even heard of.
I watched it in hour increments over the course of 4 days.
Until the end of the world's longer.
I think that's the only way to do it.
I watched the whole thing, and to the point where I started to get pissed off at the movie that it was still going, but like the things that I thought were cool, there was a couple of things that I was like, oh, because I had seen both movies, and I remember I was like, oh, well, this is cool, like fleshing this part out, but like, and getting rid of the whole like family in the truck.
I mean, it was definitely better than Joss Whedon's version.
Yeah,
there's no question in my mind about that.
But polishing a turd
that was probably a little.
The world's most expensive turd.
My God,
was it expensive?
It was. You could feed like multiple small countries with the amount of money.
But now they're talking. I love it that it started a chain reaction. Now the internet today was screaming for the Joel Schumacher cut of Batman and Robin. What was it? No, Batman Forever. Batman Forever. The Schumacher cut.
Was that the Nipples one? Was that the George Clooney one?
That was pre-Nipples. That was
Kilmer. Was that Kilmer?
That was Kilmer. That was Two-Face with Mr. Witness. Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey.
We got our Pittsburgh boy Michael Keaton coming back as Batman in the near future.
Does he have to live in the Schneider world?
Whatever the DC extended universe is at this point, I guess. That experiment is going poorly, and I wish everyone involved good luck.
God bless him.
Michael Keaton's not going to mess around, though.
No,
you see, he's not going to do a thing he doesn't want to do. So you're not going to get like, he's writing his own ticket for this. People have been trying to lure him back. He should have got the Oscar for Birdman, in my opinion. But
hell yeah.
But
he got robbed.
Yeah, he got robbed. But they threw out on Instagram a teaser of the bottom half of the cowl with some blood on it. And I freaked out and looked at it like I went down a rabbit hole of an hour just trying to find other pictures from the set, like anything of him back in Bat.
It's wild that that's their Flash movie, but nobody cares about the Flash. They only care about the Batman elements.
If he's in there for 10 minutes, that's all anybody's going to see, and it'll they'll make 16 more Flash movies. And
good for him for making that Batman bag again.
Let do it. Why not? Give the people what they want. If the pandemic's taught us anything, just give them what they want. I think
populism has its perks on occasion.
I guess so, and that's why you got the feel good columns, and you're getting things going. You're rolling out with that, and giving people what they want, what they need. Local.
I'm just trying to make people as interested and passionate about like filmmaking as I am.
All right, and before we go, because we're starting to run long, are you basically finding your own stories? Are you just seeing what's going on, hearing things, reaching out, boom, you got this, and go? Or are people like, are you getting like assigned, like, do this?
I rarely get assigned. It's a combination of I'm going out and finding stuff, or they're coming to me.
Gotcha.
I welcome. I've got my email is jaxelrod@post-gazette.com. If you have a good pitch, I will. The worst I can do is not respond.
I got a pitch.
Yeah.
I got a pitch.
Oh, I'm afraid.
This is a movie. This is a movie idea.
Show yourself, Dave. Show yourself.
This is the movie idea.
That's my jurisdiction.
And this is just the tagline. Okay, this is for the movie. It's called. Here's the poster. Ready? Stink bug. First it stinks, then you're dead.
Do you die from the stink? Is that what you're implying?
You got to watch the movie to find out.
See, now I'm intrigued.
Boom! There we go. I'll take it. I'll take it as a thumbs up from Josh.
So Dave's got his hooks.
More like a sideways thumb.
Dave's got his hooks in, I guess. He's been actually having that pitch for about 6 years, Dave?
I pitched it to Pinhead, Doug Bradley, and he was into it. He loved it. He loved the title. So I think it's got legs.
6 of them.
Just like the DC Extended Universe, I wish you luck with that.
Ooh,
thank you.
He just said he was polishing your turd, is what was happening.
This turd's gonna cost like nothing, though. This is a turd worth polishing.
The less expensive turd is always the better turd.
Bingo.
This turd's gonna stink, and then you're dead. See, that's the sequel. Well, hey, they made Sharknado.
Like 12 of them.
Yeah, it's a franchise, Dave. Yeah. You could do that.
Well, to answer your question, no, seriously, if you guys have any ideas in terms of like cool people in the filmmaking community, just stuff I should know about, cool like short films.
I've got a list. I will send everything your way. I will say you've been very helpful. I talked to somebody that you connected me with this morning. And that was very nice. Awesome. That's great. That's great. And everybody that I'm connecting you with can also, they have tentacles. They can connect you to. They can just keep this.
So I've already had.
Okay, good. I was gonna say so. That was I gave you like 3 like touchstone names there. So cool, man. Well, hey, thank you for being here with us, and thank you for the love and the paper that came out on Sundays in Sunday's Post Gazette and online on Monday. And
please come to our party.
I was just gonna say, please come to our party on Thursday night.
I would be honored.
A week from today, roundabout down by the river. All right, cool, man. Well, so thank you so much for everything, and keep doing what you're doing. I mean, if at this pace in a year, you're probably going to be running the paper.
I mean, I'm averaging like probably 8 to 10 stories a week at this point. It's a sickness. Someone needs to tell me to stop. But hey, if cool stuff keeps happening, I'm going to keep writing about it.
Well, this is what's cool. that we're finding out on this show a little bit. And I was talking to John Chamberlain from the Jag Off podcast.
I love John.
He was like, you never run out of people. You never run out of stories. It's crazy. I'm actually going to try to get a guy on our show tomorrow that could be a out of left field great story for you. This guy is loaded. I'll send it to you offline here.
You have my attention.
I've got this guy. This guy's got stories, and his story itself is it's 1 in a million, actually.
Well, as you saw with my Julie Grant piece, I like profiles and I like stories. So
okay, great. You're going to double. I can't touch Julie. I can't touch the Julie
Nobody
Grant
can.
story.
She's the queen of profiles.
She is. All right. So thank you very much. My family thanks you, and take it easy, buddy. Thank you so much. Good luck with everything you're doing.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Josh. All right, everybody. We're winding things down here. Episode 98. That's the guy.
That's the guy.
That's the guy.
That's the guy. Sarah knew who he was. Erin Franklin. Hosted barbecue with Franklin.
You got any other pictures of him?
This is the one. You need to get your glasses on for this.
I'm already there, dude.
Hang on. Let me get out of here.
Go side to side here. Blow them up. That's just me with my glasses and reflections.
There we go. Look at that. Hang on. Hold for a screenshot. And wait, I'm going to put apple 4. Cheese. Another one for the scrapbook. Beautiful.
I don't know where to look.
You did it.
You could have found a better picture, but that was a nice smile that he had going. He was laughing at something. His nostrils were flaring.
That's yeah. Maybe I got another one. Yeah, but I can see it. That and James Hetfield. I still think the James Hetfield comparison.
The James Hetfield. I know who James Hetfield is.
He's got the new Patrick Jordan look. That
was just when you had me with the. My God, what are those?
Pom poms.
The pom poms. I remember that.
Pom poms.
Cool. And Franklin.
I'm bringing back Josh just so I can see him hanging. So as we say goodbye to everybody.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, we're out of here. Thank you all very much for watching episode 198 in the books. 2 more to 200. Tomorrow night's going to have some surprise guests. Friday's got a gigantic surprise guest that should fulfill the circle of what we were looking for, the epic EGOT. So tune in on Friday for the circle may be complete. Do that. Go get your shot. Take care of everybody. Check in on people. Feel good about yourselves. Go out there. Have some fun. See you Thursday, and we'll be down at Roundabout. Thank you all very much. On behalf of Josh, Mercedes, who's at a drag show, working a drag show on the north side right now, Dave Mansueto, I'm Patrick Jordan. Thank you all very much.
Realize
Get that picture off the screen. Get that picture off the screen. There's better pictures than that one. Yeah, that was a good one. That's a good one. You look good in that hat, Dave. Just saying. Well, anyway, great show tomorrow. Kate Romaine's going to be here. That's going to be exciting. It'll be the last what Kate ate. It's the last time we'll find out what she ate. So tune in for that. Maybe Pete will show up. Who knows? Maybe the captain will make an appearance.